Hello, we are looking at ALD Issue 7, Text 2, which is a speech. And I Googled and Googled and Googled, and I could not find the audio for this speech so that you could hear Lee Hamilton speak with his own voice. I found pictures of him and information about him. He is not just Lee H. Hamilton, he is the Honorable Lee H. Hamilton. He's a judge, and he's won many awards in his life. The speech itself is several places online, but I couldn't find the audio, so you're stuck with me. Sorry. What does it mean to be an American citizen? And we will be doing this as a close read. So I will be leaving blanks, and you will be filling them in. What does it mean to be an American citizen? By Lee H. Hamilton. We are here today because the success of any democracy is determined by the participation of its citizens. Let's read it again. Together. We are here today because the success of any democracy is determined by the participation of its citizens. Lincoln asked whether a nation devoted to the values of liberty, equality, justice, and opportunity, quote, so conceived, can long endure. In other words, he said, can such a country last? Can it endure? In these words, he told us a truth about our democracy, that its survival is never guaranteed, and that its success demands wisdom, action, and even, what's that word? Vigilance. A careful watch, vigilance, and even vigilance from American citizens. Thus, I focus my remarks today on the basic question, what does it mean to be an American citizen? We're going to pause here, and I'd like you to practice reading the first 2 paragraphs as if you were giving the speech. Practice with a partner, please. Section 1. What do we owe? First, what do we as American citizens owe? So, what do we as American citizens owe? We begin with gratitude. As many have said, the joy of being an American is the joy of freedom and opportunity. We have been bequeathed freedom. Bequeathed means given. Read it with me. We have been bequeathed freedom, justice, and opportunity from the deeds and commitments, even the spilled blood of Americans who came before us. We did not earn the inheritance. We did not earn the inheritance. This nation of unequaled wealth and power, of freedom and opportunity was given to us. But no matter how rich and powerful it becomes, America is not and never will be a finished project. It is always a borning. You know the word born? So it's always being born. It's always growing. It is always a borning. That looks like an SAT word. You and I are handed a work in progress, one that can evolve for good or for ill. Now, ill means sick, but in this sentence, good or not good, right? can evolve for good or for bad, for evil. American democracy. American democracy makes a wager, a bet, on its citizens. The deal is simple. With freedom comes, say it again, with freedom comes obligation. With liberty comes duty. If that deal is not kept, democracy is threatened. Lincoln said at Gettysburg, "It is for us the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced." He spoke of a new birth of freedom, so that government of, by, and for the people would not perish, means die, would not die. So read that sentence with me. He spoke of a new birth of freedom, so that government of, by, and for the people would not perish. You and I must learn, and we must teach our young the words we live by: the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the other grand documents of American history. And we must learn and teach about the institutions that bring life and permanence, things lasting over time, permanence, to these words and deeds so familiar to us, so that they may fulfill Lincoln's charge. Democracy is not fixed like a monarchy. Fixed means it doesn't change, stays the same. So democracy is not staying the same like a monarchy. It is dynamic. It changes. Democracy reflects the will and, above all, the action of each generation of American citizens. So what do we owe? As Americans, we owe a profound debt of gratitude for the actions of those who preceded us. And we owe those who will follow an America that is even greater and more beautiful than it was transmitted to us. ALD Issue 7, Text 2, Part 2. Why are we concerned? But I am concerned, as I know you are. Why are we concerned? We are concerned because too many Americans lack a basic understanding of our democracy, our institutions, our representative democracy, our obligation to those who came before, and what each of us can and must do to preserve the blessings of liberty. Yes, that is one sentence. Let's read it together, remembering to take clear pauses at each of the commas and to clearly enunciate each of these vocabulary words. Here we go. We are concerned because too many Americans lack a basic understanding of our democracy, our institutions, our representative democracy, our obligation to those who came before, and what each of us can and must do to preserve the blessings of liberty. Now try that with a partner. Continuing. A multitude of surveys confirm our concerns. A multitude of surveys confirm our concerns. In other words, many surveys agree with what I'm saying here. But we don't even need to look at surveys or statistics to know that political participation and civic engagement is down, basically across the board. What does that mean, by the way, across the board? That means everybody, for everybody. People are voting, that's right, people are voting less, paying less attention to their civic responsibility, ignoring the great lessons of the American experiment, participating less, and complaining more. Let's read that sentence again. Starting from here. People. Okay. People are voting less, paying less attention to their civic responsibility, ignoring the great lessons of the American experiment, participating less, and complaining more. Ooh. There is a sense, particularly among many young people, that being an American citizen is no big deal, with no obligation attached to it, an endeavor not particularly worthy of their time and talent. I know of young people in Indiana who, when asked about the meaning of Memorial Day, respond by saying that it's the day the pools are opened. Oh. Or the occasion for the Indianapolis 500 auto race. Do you know what Memorial Day represents? All of us are aware of a disconnect between people and their elected representatives. People do not trust them. People think they do the bidding, the will. They do what other people want. The bidding of powerful interests. Okay, in other words, people think the representatives do what those who have power and money tell them to do. The ones that have power and money are the people who rule the oil companies, the people who are in charge of the banks, the people who are in charge of agriculture, such as milk, meat, eggs. Those people have a lot of money. People think they are not relevant to their day-to-day lives. People think the representatives are not relevant to the people's day-to-day lives. People think that citizenship is hollow. It's empty. Hollow. You and I are concerned because we know that if we are, what's that SAT word? Apathetic. Say apathetic. Apathetic is when you do not care. Pathos is emotion. Okay? So we get the word sympathy, empathy, psychopath. That's the word there, emotion. So without emotion, you don't care. Say apathetic. Okay? You know what passive means? So apathetic is you don't care. Passive is you don't act. And cynical means you don't believe. So don't care, don't act, don't believe. Oh boy. Let's read the sentence. You and I are concerned because we know that if we are apathetic, passive, and cynical about our democracy, then we will invite leaders who abuse power. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, let's read the sentence again because it's such a good one. You and I are concerned because we know that if we are apathetic, passive, and cynical about our democracy, then we will invite leaders who abuse power. There is an old observation. A society of sheep, must in time beget a government of wolves. Read it again. There is an old observation. A society of sheep must in time create a government of wolves. So if everybody's a sheep, there will be a wolf that comes in. And history shows this. You guys who are in 10th grade and took 10th grade history, Stalin, Hitler, Mussolini, right? Wolves. You and I are concerned because we stand on a precipice. Say precipice. Here's a precipice. Right here. We're standing on a precipice. We're looking down precipice. Okay, a precipice is, this is a mountain, this is a mountain. It's the edge before there's a great fall. Precipice. So you know the word pre means before. So before you fall down. Precipice. Precipice. Just keep saying it. It's another SAT word. Precipice, 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 precipice. Precipice, okay. Where are we? You and I are standing on a precipice, right? You and I are concerned because we stand on a precipice. If American citizens increasingly become disengaged, apathetic, passive, cynical, then the entire American democratic enterprise is at risk. We fall down. Indeed, sometimes I wonder about whether our democracy can continue as we know it if civic participation continues to decline as it has. So why engage? Why should you and I and others engage in civic activity? We have plenty of important things to worry about doing in our jobs. I messed up. We have plenty of important things to worry about doing our jobs, paying our bills, taking care of our families. No doubt, these private interests are civic virtues. Virtue is a good thing, right? Civic virtues in their own right. We are good in this country at speaking out for and protecting our individual interests, but all of us can benefit from giving at least some of our attention to advancing the public interest, or as the founding fathers called it, the common good. Look around you. Many things need to be done in your